What caused me to start Wyoming Disabled Hunters is I had an accident, a vehicle accident in 2001. Avid hunter before, loved hunting, things like that. And after my accident, and I had a male nurse approach me, and I was in ICU laying there, and this guy asked me what I used to do, and so I told him I was a hunter and fisherman and things like that, and he told me, he said, well, you better get used to tying fishing flies, because that's all you're going to be able to do the rest of your life. And it really pissed me off. So what it did is it inspired me at the same time, in a way, after I got mad enough. But that helped me to, I'm going to show this guy, and I'm going to show everybody out there that we're going to do it exactly. We're going to do it just like an able-bodied person can do. We just got to do it a little differently. We can still continue to do it. So then a few years down the road after my accident, a gentleman approached me wanting to he's done some hunts in this area for handicapped people, want us to form an organization around here. So we started just throwing some ideas around, things like that. And then in 2008, a couple of us got together, made a makeshift board meeting, and formed Wyoming Disabled Hunters, and it's kind of taken off from there. The main goal was wanting to be able to get people that either were hunting before or had never hunted, to give them an opportunity to get back into the field, or to try something they've never done, and to show them that a disability doesn't limit them from doing the things they used to love, or doing the things they love to do. So, and that's been one of the things we look forward to getting people set up with. So
we started our program in the year 2000, so we're going on 11 years with our program on our property on the North Fork. The Wyoming Disabled Hunter is a direct result from that, and I'm getting too old to do it, so I wanted a younger group to be able to take over the program. The Wyoming Disabled Hunter was created to go out and hunt on these private lands, and the private landowners have been terrific, allowing us to come in and hunt on their places. But we've had such great help, so many volunteers, and we have many programs on our property up there where we have college kids come up and do natural resource management and stuff like that. So, and these hunting people, many of them don't even hunt on us, but they come up to help us, and we build fences and stuff every year, and repair fences. We put new stain on the blind this year, one of the projects we did up there this year, and so that's a great program. It's just a great bunch of people to work with.
We do have a website that we just got started in 2011, WyomingDisabledHunters.org. We do have an email as well that you can contact us either on Facebook, or you can contact us by our phone numbers. We have phone numbers on the web. We do have some brochures that we do hand out, things like that, to get in touch with people. So this year was the very first year we got involved with the Hunting and Fishing Expo. That's the first real meeting or expo that we've gone to. We wanted to see how it was. And it was greatly. It was a 3-day event, and it was really great. We took one of our devices for one of our disabled hunters, and the first 2 days they had 5,600 school kids come through. And what we did is we had those kids sit in the wheelchair and sit on their hands, and then try to figure out how they were going to shoot this crossbow. So the education that we did to the public, not just the kids but the public, to let people know of some of the challenges that people with disability face, was a great reward. And that's something we got the kids thinking about, different options, things if it does happen. And we got a lot of people out there, if something does happen, then they remember they might have seen us. So we're hoping that hopefully in the future we'll probably do a few more of those expos, get our name out there and things like that.
Well, even though him and I just met last night, we've already kind of made plans in the next couple of years to meet up and hunt out here together, then hunt back in around Michigan, up the peninsula area, coyote hunting, and do some bear hunting hopefully, and the deer hunting's not what it is here. So I have what I have to offer.
I mean, you meet people like this on occasions like this, and you kind of stay in touch. You make friends. It's not like you're just doing this to, do it. I guess you got to kind of have a purpose. You want to do it, meet people, and then, like you said, we can try to go out to Michigan and do some hog hunting or something like that, And, it's just a great opportunity for both for companion hunter and hunter. I mean, it's a great great deal.
Except when he forgot his chair this morning and wanted me to sit on the ground so he could sit in my chair.
I tried kicking him out of his chair. Wouldn't go for it. This is my first time as a companion hunter as far as with Wyoming disabled hunters. So it's a good experience. I'm really enjoying myself. It's a great time. Great hospitality. I would love to do this again. This is a fantastic deal. I have a lot of fun enjoying myself. I don't enjoy his company too much, but no. No, it's a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
Well, I tell you, these cowboys out here, them and their lift trucks, and guys in wheelchairs trying to get into them. I wheeled out this morning to get in his truck. You're joking, right?
We had a little hard time. We got in there.
We got in there, you know. And he had to help lift a little bit. And he's got a bum leg as well right now, so the blind leading the blind basically right now. But no, he's had lots of good conversations in the blind and all night last night. It was fun. You know, it's going to be a great friendship, I think. And like I said, this is amazing to have Wyoming disabled hunters set everything up like this and give us such great people to work with.
The camaraderie of this whole hunt, that's one of the best rewards for everybody. To be able to do the hunting and things like that, it's a great bonus to be able to harvest an animal, but that's not what hunting's about. All the friendships are made, all the people that are, you know, they get to meet, make new friendships. Some are lifelong friendships. And, you know, especially where the place we're doing this, everybody gets to stay together. After the hunt's over, they get to sit around, tell the day's hunts, get contact information, and what it leads to is actually hunting trips with them down the road of other places that they're doing disabled hunting and things like that. And I know last year we had some people that met up, and they've, you know, every 2 weeks they're talking on the phone with each other, and they've become lifelong friends.
When I was approached this year by Merlin Ballinger, he asked me if I would be interested in taking another blind hunter up to his ranch, because I took my cousin Patrick up there. It was about 7 years ago, and we harvested a big 5-point deer and a cow elk. And it was just an experience that he wanted to try, and it worked out. So when I got the opportunity to take Carrie, I wouldn't back down at all. I mean, I told my kids that I wouldn't be going deer hunting this year because I was taking Carrie hunting. He wanted an opportunity to get an elk, and he's from Fargo, North Dakota, and I wasn't going to turn him away. I mean, I had the gun and everything to use, and I had the setup, and I told Merlin that I wanted to take him out shooting before we went, just to get so he knows how I am and I know how he is, you know, kind of get everything intact before we try to put a bullet in something without wounding it or chasing it. He actually hit a little generic Mountain Dew can. It was about 100 yards. Took us 4 shots, but we was within 6-inch circle every time. I mean, we were just barely missing it.
The 4th shot, I blew it all up and stuff. We kept the can. We showed it to people because people rarely believe that, you know, a blind person can shoot at all. So, you know, we just showed the can and all that stuff. But so I figured I was ready for the elk. Immediately when a person meets your companion guide, you have something in common, like I said, the hunting. Everybody's into that. You know where he's coming from, and he knows where you're coming from. That's the camaraderie you get in the sport. And we hit it off right out the bat, I think, because there are some hunters or guides that will actually grab the gun and put you in a headlock, and that's only happened once to me, and it really makes me nervous. What I told him was, I said, hey, look, I want to try to do as much as I can. I'm going to need your help for some of it, because I'm not going to be able to hear the thing, because it's going to be pretty far away, it may have wind. And I said, but, please don't grab the gun. Went to the slope, and I was kind of amazed how long the drive was, and the popping of the ears, that kind of thing. I knew I was going into rocky country because you could feel through the tires that the terrain was definitely getting rough, and, with the ears I was going up, so you can kind of navigate a little bit. And the roads were kind of twisting and stuff, and we were sliding a little bit, of course, because there was snow. And got up to where we were going to hunt. When we got to the blind itself, and I went into the blind. It was a very nice blind. Got settled in. Everybody started getting set up and sat there and didn't see a bird for about 5 hours. Nothing. I mean, no movement at all. And so we just started chit-chatting back and forth.
I was just telling them a story that the Indians call them wapiti because they're a very elusive animal, and they call them I don't remember the exact term, but they're like disappearing, and they just appear all of a sudden. And I was telling this story in the blind, and while I was sitting there looking back and forth, and there was nothing, not a bird flying, not a deer, nothing out there. And I was telling them this story, and all of a sudden, just out of the corner of my eye, there's this elk standing there, 100 yards from the timber line. I should have seen her 3 minutes before that, but she just clear out there.
Then he started shaking. I'm trying to figure out why he's shaking, because he's grabbing at my shoulders, the gun, everything, and I'm going, what's going on? So I thought he was kidding to begin with, and then things got a little bit more serious and I could figure it out. And so then with this elk about 20 yards away looking at us, we trying to open this window without spooking it, and you can imagine what that's like.
She just come running right up to the window. She's like 20 yards away, and I'm trying to open this window. My hands start shaking. I'm getting all excited because she's sitting there looking at me, and I'm just wondering if we're going to get this opportunity or if they're going to run into the trees. And she kind of ran off to the side, and then there's a second elk that come in behind her, and she is about 46 yards away.
I put my ear protection in, and Vincey's whispering lefts, rights, ups, downs, so I can sight in. He's looking through the pistol scope. We don't have laser scope or nothing, and so he's not touching the rifle at all. He's just telling me lefts and rights. I'm trying to listen to him through my hearing protection, and he actually tells me to fire. I think he's telling me right, so I turn the gun right, of course.
Glad he didn't pull the trigger, because we would have been chasing that one for a while, but we got all our stuff cooled down, and I was shaking so bad he said I was shaking the whole blind. I was a little overexcited.
So we line up again, and then this time I understand his fire, and I fire, and I get a lung shot.
He made an excellent shot. He hit her right in the lungs, and she only went about 60 yards. She was down.
I was able to get out and track it through the snow on the elbow of my guide, and went down to a draw, kind of a shallow draw, about 60 yards. So I reached down, and here it's just huge, and it's all humped up, so it's, it looks bloated, but it's not. It's just humped up. And I feel the head, and it feels like a horse head, and the fur feels puffed up, not at all like a horse. I was looking for a mane. There was no mane. I looked at the feet. Feet were huge. I always pray over my animals that I take, because I feel that animals have souls. It's just a personal feeling of mine. And I thanked it for giving up its life for me, and I'm going to be feeding a lot of people from the bounty of the elk, and I'll be able to take some of it home, so there's people there that are in need because of the bad economy that I'll feed. Whatever your disability is, and whether or not it's getting worse or better or whatever, as long as you take your time and you develop the technique, and the technique works for you specifically, it doesn't have to work for everybody. There's not a universal technique with this stuff, because wild game is unpredictable, and you have to accept that sometimes, hey, it ain't your disability. It's the animal, it's the weather, it's whatever, So you just have to realize that, yes, it's not shopping, it's hunting, and you have to be there for the whole hunting experience, not just, I'm out there to kill an animal. Because I was out there with the elk, and I was listening while they were getting the truck and stuff. I was standing there, and everything was quiet. I could hear coyotes to my right yipping, and way off to the left and it was echoing off the cliffs, was a wolf. And it was kind of interesting to hear that. And that's actually part of the nature and also part of the hunt too.